This is Bob Capetta from the College of the Florida Keys, and this is another lesson on adding algebraic fractions. So what we're going to do first is 3 over x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 5 over x plus 2 minus 9 over x plus 3. We need to factor all the denominators. Well, x plus 2 is factored. X plus 3 is factored. But x squared plus 4x plus 4 is x plus 2 times x plus 2. So we have 3, we have 5, we have 9. I will worry about the minus signs at the end. Now I've got to build common denominators. I see x plus 2's and I see x plus 3's in the denominators. The most x plus 2's I see in any one place is 2 of them. So I need 2x plus 2's in my common denominator. What are the most x plus 3's I see in any one place? Just 1. So my common denominator will be x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. Bring over the numerators, 3, 5, and 9. And let's identify what is new so that we can construct equivalent fractions. X plus 2 and x plus 2 were there before. X plus 3 is new, so multiply x plus 3 in the numerator. Here we have x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. So both x plus 2 and x plus 3 are new. So we'll multiply them into the numerator. And then on the bottom, x plus 3 was there before. So both x plus 2 and x plus 2 are new. So we'll have x plus 2 times x plus 2 multiplied in the top to give us equivalent fractions. Now, what do we have here? This first piece, the numerator is 3 times x plus 9. It should be 3x plus 9 over the common denominator of x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. My next piece is 5 times all of that stuff. 5 times x squared plus 5x plus 6 over x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. And then we have 9 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. That's 9 times x squared plus 4x plus 4. All over x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. So where are we now? We have a common denominator of x plus 2, x plus 2. First piece is 3x plus 9. I'm going to put it in parentheses. Minus the next piece. Let's distribute that. 5 times x squared is 5x squared plus 5 times 5x is 25x plus 5 times 6 is 30 minus, again, 9 times x squared is 9x squared. 9 times 4x is 36x plus 9 times 4 is 36. So we need to simplify this by plus negative, and distributing that. So we'll make this plus negative, distribute here, here, here. We'll make this plus negative, distribute here, here, here. So next we have the bottom, x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. 3x plus 9 plus negative 5x squared plus negative 25x plus negative 30 plus negative 9x squared plus negative 36x plus negative 36. At this point, we need to do what? We need to find our like terms. So looking at x squared first, we have negative 5x squared and negative 9x squared, which would give us negative 14x squared. Looking at our x's, what do we have? 3x minus 25x minus 36x. 3 minus 25 minus 36. We get negative 58x. And then what are the numbers? 9 minus 30 minus 36. 9 plus negative 30 plus negative 36 gives me negative 57. All over x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 3. And if you'd want, you could rewrite it as negative 14x squared minus 58x minus 57 over x plus 2 squared times x plus 3. That would be another way for us to write that. All right, let's take a look at another question that will not be quite as tedious, but will require some intricacy. So I'm going to have the following. X plus 7 over x minus 2 plus x plus 5 over 2 minus x. So this is a reversed subtraction situation. So how do we handle a reversed subtraction situation? Well, if I factor out a negative 1 here, I get negative 1 times negative 2 plus x. So we have x plus 7 over x minus 2 and x plus 5 over negative 1 times negative 2 plus x, which I'm going to rewrite one other way. I'm going to rewrite as x plus 5 over negative 1 times x plus negative 2 is x minus 2. Now, based on my previous work, you would think that the common denominator would be negative 1 times x minus 2, but frankly, I'm going to just leave it as x minus 2. I'm going to leave the common denominator as x minus 2. So to get from here to here, there is nothing new in the denominator. So we'll just leave it as x plus 7. But how do I go from x minus 1 times negative 1, x minus 2 times negative 1 to just x minus 2? Well, what I need is I need x minus 2 times negative 1 times negative 1. So if we see that, you'll notice what? You will notice I have one negative 1 here. I have one x minus 2 here. But to get it to be equal to x minus 2, I need another negative 1. So the other negative 1 is going to go upstairs, and I'll have negative 1 times x plus 5. So when we put this together, then I get x plus 7 plus -1 times x plus 5 all over the common denominator, which is x minus 2 times -1 times -1, which is just x minus 2. So I get x plus 7 minus x minus 5 over x minus 2. X minus x is gone. 7 minus 5 is just 2 over x minus 2. So that's a little challenging if we want to get it to that point. The other way you could think about that one, x plus 7 over x minus 2 plus x plus 5 over 2 minus x. If you want to get a common denominator right away, just multiply top and bottom of this guy by -1. -1 here over -1. And then you'll notice what's going to happen this way. X plus 7 over x minus 2 plus -1 times x, -x, plus -1 times 5, -5. -1 times 2 is -2. -1 times x is plus x. Notice now we have a common denominator using a slightly different strategy, maybe simpler strategy. Plus -x plus -5 over -2 plus x is x minus 2. Now I have a common denominator of x minus 2. So we'll take x plus 7 plus -x plus -5, and we get 2 over x minus 2, same answer as before. All right, let me finish up with one last question. Let's do the following. 3y plus 2 over 2y squared minus y minus 10 plus 8 over 2y squared minus 7y plus 5. So we've got a factor at the bottom, so let's pull out our factor box thing and see what we get. I have 2y squared here, -10 here, -y. So I get 2y times y. I will need a 5 and a 2. So I think a 2 and a -5 will do it. -5 times y is -5y. Positive 2 times 2y is positive 4y. And indeed, that equals -y. So 2y minus 5y plus 2. 2y minus 5 times y plus 2. Over on this side, I need 2y squared minus 7y plus 5. Let's go ahead and do that in our factor box. 2y squared plus 5 minus 7y. 2y times y, I need a 5 and a 1. A 1 and a 5, make them both negative. -5 times -1 is positive 5. -5 times y, -5y. -1 times 2y, -2y adds up to -7y. So I get 2y minus 5 times y minus 1. So I have both of those factored. Now I can go ahead and add those two algebraic fractions. So I will do that. Writing it vertically, my preferred way to write adding algebraic fractions. 3y plus 2 over 2y squared minus y minus 10 plus 8 over 2y squared minus 7y plus 5. Factoring the denominators, which we just did on the previous page. 2y squared minus y minus 10 was 2y minus 5 times y plus 2. And 2y squared minus 8y plus 5 was 2y minus 5 times y minus 1. Let's build our common denominator. 2y minus 5, most I see in any one place is 1. 2y minus 5 2y minus 5. Y plus 2, most I see in any one place is 1. Y minus 1, most I see in any one place is 1. Bring over the numerator, 3y plus 2. Bring over the numerator, bring over 8. Let's find out what is new in each case. 2y minus 5 was there before, y plus 2 was there before, y minus 1 is new. Multiply y minus 1 on top. On the bottom, 2y minus 5 was there before, y minus 1 was there before, so y minus 2 is new. Multiply y plus 2 is new. Multiply y plus 2 on top. Multiplying this stuff out, what do I get? The first piece, 3y squared minus 3y plus 2y minus 2 over our common denominator of 2y minus 5, y plus 2, y minus 1, plus 8y plus 16, 2y minus 5, y plus 2, y minus 1. Now we can write all of this over a single denominator. 2y minus 5, y plus 2, y minus 1. Adding all this together, 3y squared minus 3y plus 2y minus 2 plus 8y plus 16. Let's get our like terms, add them together. The denominator, 2y minus 5, y plus 2, y minus 1. 3y squared minus 2y plus 1y is minus y. Plus 8y is 7y. And I have 16 minus 2. 16 minus 2 is 14. And that is my final answer, and that will conclude this lesson.